Hi, my name's Jad. I'm a naturopath and counsellor and I work at Merge Health, and I'm here today to talk about how mindfulness can actually help with fatigue. So our thoughts that run around through our head all day long can sometimes be quite exhausting. Worries, ruminations and problems that need to be solved can spin around inside our head and really zap our energy. So sometimes thoughts can be useful and it's worth the time then to invest all that energy in thinking. But a lot of the time our thoughts aren't so helpful. A lot of the time we're worrying about things that we have no control over, say being stuck in traffic and we get really angry. Or maybe we've got a deadline that we know we need to meet, but overthinking it's not really going to help. So what mindfulness teaches us to do is to get a bit of distance between the thought itself and our own sense of self in relationship to that thought. Because often when we feel overwhelmed, it's when we're so hooked by the thoughts that we don't have any sort of breathing space around them. So the first thing you can do if you're noticing that there's unhelpful worries coming up in your head is just label whether the thought is helpful or unhelpful. And just notice that. Just take a second and notice what's going on in your head and say to yourself, is this thought helpful or unhelpful? If it's helpful, invest in it. You might be able to solve a problem. If you know that the thought's not helpful and it's just a worry going round and round in your head like a broken record, just label it as an unhelpful thought. The second part is to label what that thought is about. So we're trying to create some space between our experience of the thought as the thinker and labeling it as a thought. A thought is just a thought. It's not necessarily a fact. It's not something we have to believe in or follow. So labeling the thought as either anxiety or worry or problem solving can create a bit of space between us and the thought itself. You could even try a little exercise where each thought that pops up into your head during the day, you can just gently say to yourself, I'm aware I'm having the thought that, and then fill in the blank at the end. It might be, I'm aware I'm having the thought that this traffic is really frustrating, or I'm aware that I'm having the thought that this deadline is due on Monday. Use a soothing kind of voice rather than an angry or a frustrated voice. And each time a thought pops up, just try labeling that and see if you notice any change in your relationship to the thought, whether it has such a strong hold of you or whether there's a little bit of breathing space between you and the thoughts you are having. In mindfulness, in the course that I teach, we go into a lot more detail about how that exercise can be helpful so that we don't become so hooked and controlled by the thoughts and feelings we have during the day. If you want to know any more, there should be some notes below. Otherwise, the course starts Wednesday nights on April 18th from 7 till 9 p.m. for 8 weeks. Thanks heaps for listening. Bye.